Hello! Bonjour à tous! Now, unless you've been sleeping under a particularly dense rock for the last couple of weeks, you'll know that Christmas, or Noël, or Hogswatch, or the primary gifting period is well on the way. Many cities around Europe, or around the world, I'm guessing, will now be filling up with sparkly things and people spending far too long outdoors selling stuff to other people who are spending far too long outdoors. And Aix-en-Provence is no exception, right? So, yeah. Last week we went to see what they've done with Cours Mirabeau and the rest of town.
So Cours Mirabeau is no stranger to markets, but at this time of year your special kind of garden shed and fairy lights style Christmas market moves in for the season. There's a lot of stuff here for locals and tourists alike, and I honestly don't think I've seen this many people out and about in the normal markets. So there are all your market favourites here. There are shiny things, there's non-shiny things, there's this toothpick armadillo which I'm kind of tempted to buy, there's a lot of dancing Santas which are very, very creepy, lots of Russian dolls which are also very creepy. This one has a bell in it which makes it even more creepy. These things are supposed to look like your family members, so they're even more creepy. There's macaroons of different flavours, which are apparently a local speciality. Soap of many different flavours, which is also a local speciality, though not nearly as delicious. There is so much food that all smells delicious, and this includes your classic crepe and your non-classic churros. They're not a local speciality, but they're still amazing. It's nice to see the town all dressed up for Christmas, and even little local boulangeries are getting in the spirit. Seen here is the ancient art of putting the already overpriced sugary thing into a red box with some gold tape on it so you can charge even more for it. Hooray, capitalism! The transformation has happened here too, the rotonde, which normally is a testament to Roman architecture and a roundabout, but which now looks like some kind of gaudy mushroom with a funfair next to it. Things look more Christmassy at night. Did you ever notice that? But most of us were complaining that it was still too warm to be Christmassy.
But since then, the temperature has plummeted. I know I bang on a lot about the weather, mais laisse-moi tranquille, je suis anglaise. It's been raining the last couple of days, not like sandy rain or West Country floods rain, but it's still enough to make you go, no. It's definitely not going outside weather. So there are a few things you can do and stay inside. There are a few French films waiting around on my hard drive for me to watch, which is quite nice, and there's a lot of French comedy on YouTube, which means I can watch YouTube and practice my French. Fantastique. There are a few comedians in particular I quite want to recommend. There's this guy, Gad Elmaleh. He does one of my favourite ever bits of stand-up about la cigarette, but I can't find a version with English subtitles online. So here's a version with French subtitles if you want to practice. And here's another video of his which has English subtitles on it and is good. Also this guy, Patrick Bosso, he's talking about the Marseillaise accent and swears a lot, sweats a lot, but very, very funny still and has English subtitles. Finally, there's this guy, Jamel, who you've probably seen in lots of films. He's in Amélie and he's in Astérix et Cléopâtre. He's very funny, he does a lot of sketches rather than stand-up, but he's very, very famous here in France. I've kind of been trying to figure out what the French sense of humour is, but it's actually kind of similar. For example, Gad Elmaleh did support for Eddie Izzard on his last tour of France. Izzard was speaking completely in French, which is like good on him. Gad is more slapstick and admittedly does a lot of like voices and mumbling, so I don't understand all of what he says, but a lot of the time I don't understand Glaswegian, so I'm not one to talk. Speaking of Glaswegians, it's St Andrew's Day today. In lieu of going to a ceilidh and eating haggis, neeps and tatties, I'm just sitting here in my tartan waistcoat. I'm going to be a bit grumpy, but in a lovable way. That's all I've got, I'm afraid. I will see you next week, hopefully. Thank you very much for coming along. And Solange! Ooh, there still smells of sloe gin.